A little cheap.
Jason's not coming.
Turn back was like
No.
$100. You get a room for a pretty reasonable deal.
No,
Sure. Necessarily.
either one more or two more. But he's not coming tonight, so if you want to scoot over by us, you can, so you don't have to be so far over there. We can swap them.
What is today's date?
Today's the 15th.
Okay, thank you.
We'll call tonight's city council meeting, July 15th, to order. Would you call the roll, please?
Kathy Griffith.
Here.
Jason Blair. Melissa Hunt.
Here.
Louis Williams.
Here.
Adam Webb.
Here.
Rob Clark.
Here.
Mark Ham.
Here. Would you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge of Allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item 2 is the consent docket.
Make a motion, we approve item 2, alphas A through D.
Second.
Okay, a motion and a second. You can call the vote, please.
Kathy Griffith.
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Rob Clark.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes, consent docket approved. Item 3 is to receive a staff report regarding backyard chickens and receive public comments.
Mayor and council, a summary of information compiled by our animal control department was mailed to you before this meeting, so you've had a chance to review it, hopefully. And so essentially it outlines some of the problems that we have found that other cities have. We would expect the city of Moore to have the same issues, and also would ask that you understand that it would probably stretch our animal control staff somewhat thin, given the added responsibilities. But you have the information, and we're here to receive public comment.
Okay, before we take any comment, are there any questions from the council for staff?
Oh, and just Nicole McKim from Animal Control is here to answer any questions, as is Elizabeth Whiteman. So,
Okay. I do not have any requests to be heard, but is there anybody here that would like to speak on behalf of chickens? Okay, just one time, come on up. And you'll have 5 minutes, and if you'd please just state your name and address.
Yes. My name is Chelsea McLean. My address is 2945 Woodlawn Drive in Moore, obviously. All right. My name is Chelsea McLean. As I said, you can call me Farmer McLean, as I like to be called. I have been a Moore resident since the day I was born. I love being a Moore resident and raising my daughter in the same great place that I grew up in. I'm here to speak to you today about chickens, hens specifically, because if I move roughly 300 feet, I could legally own them. As we all know, the Questions of Chickens and More was shot down in 2022 because the animal shelter was not complete. We didn't have the infrastructure to sustain the order and the possibility of agitating other pets. To refute that last point, that is a training and enclosure problem. Pets cannot be near a neighbor's chickens without breaking the law from the beginning. Obviously, things happen, like Thomas the turkey running through Moore in South Oklahoma City for 4 months. Today, our beautiful $8.2 million, 13,000 square foot animal welfare building is complete. So I would like to review a few statistics with you. Our surrounding cities allow up to 12 backyard hens, including Oklahoma City, Norman, Midwest City, Del City, and Edmond. Oklahoma City has a population of 700,000 people and will allow up to 6 hens, and they only have 1 animal control center. Norman has a population of 130,000 people and will allow up to 4 hens. Midwest City's population is 58,000 and will allow up to 12 backyard hens. Del City's population is 21,000 and allows for up to 5 hens. Edmond's population is 96,000 and they will state a minimum of 2 hens for the health of the hen, as they do get lonely just like we do. I understand the concern about noise, cleanliness, and overall health, which is why all of these cities I have listed also have regulations of their own, and that I would like to share with you today. All of the cities require a coop, no roosters, and a coop locked from dusk till dawn. Maintaining a clean coop significantly reduces the risk of illness. No rooster eliminates all excessive noise. Remaining locked in a coop from dusk till dawn, which helps with noise and overall safety for hens. Hens are inherently quiet and affectionate creatures compared to roosters. Some cities, but not all, require a run, which helps prevent predators from attacking. They're typically bolted down or nailed down, and they are completely fenced in, but allow them the ability to roam. Today's average consumer is 3 generations removed from farming. The irony of this is that chicken ownership has gone up 5% in 2 short years. 71% of all chicken owners own less than 10 chickens. I'm sure we can all make assumptions to why this is, but I will sum it up to what my daughter's current favorite phrase is: the inflations. Grocery inflation is up 25% since 2019. Food security is obviously incredibly important to all of us. Eggs are also one of the most nutrient-dense and humanely obtained protein sources that we can consume. With these facts and arguments I have given you, I will end this with a request. I implore you to ask yourselves, why are all surrounding cities allowing for backyard hens and more simply cannot? What about us separates us from everyone else that surrounds us? We have similar tax rates, populations, and living expenses. We are the same. We are Oklahomans, and I'm proud to be here, and I really love chickens. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Next, if there's somebody else. Again, you'll have 5 minutes, and just state your name and address.
Hello, I'm Jordan, 126 Platte Lane. I would like to respectfully voice the opinion of many of us that to deny all citizens the rights of hens due to the potential mishandling of the few is absolutely not the way this city should work. Respectfully, council really has no business deciding what is best for the individuals who are competent in proper animal care, simply in fear of those who may not be. For council to prejudge citizen is simply not in the job description, especially when potential solutions do exist. Some of the potential solutions are requiring those seeking chickens to apply for a permit with an educational requirement. This is well within reason, and it is what Edmond does. We can fundraise to add chicken coops to the Animal Control Center. There's multiple nonprofit animal sanctuaries. We can ask for support in rehoming any chickens should the need arise. Allowing only hens, of course, as hens don't make noise like roosters, and that would prevent a potential population control issue. Allowing 3 to 4 maximum, as Norman has done at a maximum of 4. By banning chickens, you've given the power to the council rather than the people to make the best choice for themselves, and that's just not the way the city should run. Not only does it mean you take authority from the people to make the best choice from themselves, but it deprives them of the numerous benefits of having them. Just to remind you of the most significant benefits, it is the most sustainable food source we could have in our backyards, truly available, which is the importance of this cannot be overstated. It's a natural pest control and fertilizer and weed control, meaning a clearer environmental impact, as well as proven mental health benefits of successfully raising pets and food, among other things. The support in this room, if you guys would stand up if you're in support of this issue. It should be evidence of the views that we hold as citizens, your constituents. There were at least 25 others I spoke with that wanted to come tonight but couldn't due to other obligations. Please consider approving this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, please come on up.
Maureen Stockton, 3308 Pin Oak Road. I just moved here. I don't know anything about laws and city council's things or any of that, but one of the reasons that I moved here was because I wanted to homestead. I really looked forward to being able to grow my own food, have my own chickens, and Tractor Supply. I got so excited. I went to Tractor Supply. I was like, yay, look at these little chickens. Oh, wait, what? I can't have any? And they sell them in more, but I can't have any. That doesn't make any sense. So when I started talking to people about why can't more have chickens? Well, they're too loud, they're too noisy, they make the dogs bark. Are you kidding me? The neighbor's dog barks when I take out the garbage. Dogs bark. That's not logic. That doesn't make any sense. Well, some people just don't take very good care of them. Well, the city council doesn't say that I can't have a dog, but sometimes I don't take very good care. Some people don't take good care of their dogs. City council doesn't say I can't have cats. I have neighborhood cats in my yard all the time. I don't even want neighborhood cats in my yard, but yet here we are, irresponsible owners that can't keep their cats in their own yards. I don't know. I just think that you're not giving us an opportunity to even prove ourselves, and you're not even allowing us to help find a middle ground. And I think that maybe you should give us a chance. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else that'd like to speak about chickens? Come on up. Oh, anyone? Yeah, come on up.
Hello, my name is Christian Hodgson, address 126 Platt Lane. Thank you guys very much for your time. The only comment I wanted to make was how allowing backyard chickens for the citizen of Moore would definitely add cultural cohesion to what it is to be an Oklahoman, and also increasingly to be a citizen of the United States. There has been definitely a growing trend, according to the American Pet Products Association. They're the ones that have most recently kept up with chicken ownership data. In 2020, there was about an estimated 8% of American households that had, 2018, estimated 8% of American households had backyard chickens. And in 2020, that number is 13%. And it's just continuing to grow. In 2013, the USDA estimated about up 1% of American households. So it's definitely a significant increase. And as citizens of the United States decide to move around to different cities, one of those restrictions that can definitely break down expectations of how we live as a society is definitely backyard chickens. I can't imagine moving to a different city and not being allowed to own a dog. But if I move to a different country, that actually might not be the case. Some societies, decide they want to eat horses, and that's not exactly normalized here. So as we mature as a society, backyard chickens, allowing us to have those would allow us to build experience for future generations, because almost everyone who wants backyard chickens in his parent, and our parents definitely want to include their children and build that knowledge base there, so that way they can decide as they grow up and they can make their own decisions, but they definitely will have the knowledge of how to live alongside chickens, as well as many of us have grown up with pets like dogs and cats, so we know how to live along with those. So I definitely think restricting the citizens of Moore definitely doesn't help us as we grow our generations. It definitely doesn't help us learn to actually help solve those problems. There's definitely a wealth of information freely available on YouTube, as a lot of people can seek how to raise things properly, because that's what we really want to do. We really do want to raise it properly because, you know, that makes it convenient for everyone and healthy for the chickens. Thank you guys so much for your time, and I pray that the best wisdom is decided. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Anybody else would like to speak? Okay, please come up.
Hello, my name is Chantry Langford. I live at 1213 Northeast 3rd Street. I was a vet tech for 13 years. I'm an animal person. All the ladies and gentlemen that have been up here have done a great job. I don't hope that you guys think that everybody's going to run out and get chickens just because we're allowed to. It's very expensive. You have to pay for the coop, the babies, the incubators, the heat lamps, the food, the treats, all of that stuff. Nobody's going to do that just because they can do it. They're going to do it because they want to do it. And if they want to do it, they're going to do it right. And that costs money. So if they're going to spend the money to do it, they're not going to just get them, let them run free, let them escape, not take care of them. They're going to take care of them, and they're going to do it right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay.
Caitlin Wynn, 1513 Eagle Drive. I found out about this meeting 2 hours ago, and I decided I wanted to come because I'm passionate about chickens, which I thought I would never say that. But I wanted to offer a unique perspective. My child, I have enrolled her into a Christian farm school in South OKC called Redwood Farm School. And she had the opportunity to go to a camp this summer, and I have seen my child transform into a completely different person because of her care with animals there. They take care of chickens, goats, pigs, and I have seen a special interest in my child, and I'm a city girl. I have no clue what to do with chickens, but I'm dedicated to learn, to grow, to invest, if it benefits my child. So it's personal. I want to put the best opportunities in front of my child, and I believe that it starts with growing independence within my child, and that so happens to be with chickens. And I thought that would be a crazy thing, but I am passionate about the future of our generation. I'm passionate about teaching them independence. I'm passionate just in general for my child. And I think this would be the absolute best decision to go through with in the city of Moore. I thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Anybody else like to say a word or two? Please, come on up. It's kind of reminds me of church. You just wish the preacher would say amen, and we're here to let everybody speak.
Hi, Kim Baldwin, 2317 Northeast 18th Street. I didn't plan on talking at all until Caitlin said what she said, and I'm in the military, and what we see, we can tell who the farm kids were. To her point, you can tell which kids grew up on a farm because they have the work ethic. We have the city kids that don't know. I could go on and on. The farm kids have the work ethic, and I think that is just a tremendous point. So I'm hoping we can get some chickens. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay, tonight, this is just on the agenda for discussion. We're not going to be voting on it. Council, do y'all have any questions?
I appreciate those that showed up and took the time out of their busy schedules to share their views, so thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
Absolutely. I'd encourage you to reach out to your city council people. Our names and contact information is on the city webpage if you have any additional questions or want to share some thoughts with them. Okay, hearing no more questions and nothing from the council, we'll move on. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Item 4 is consider action, receive bids, and consider for approval or rejection, resolution number 8224, awarding $7,220,000 City of Moore, Oklahoma general obligation bonds of 2024 to bidder whose bid is determined to offer the lowest interest cost.
Mayor and council, items 4 and 5 are companion items. This is the annual bond issue for street projects. Our financial advisor and bond counsel are here to answer any questions. Recommend approval.
Make a motion to approve?
I think he's still.
Second that.
Okay,
Is
are they going to make a presentation or anything, Brooks?
They're passing out what the
Oh,
interest
sorry,
rates were
guys.
on the
Yep.
bids, which was also emailed to you earlier this
yeah.
afternoon, so.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
This is what we got. We got this.
Thank you.
Today.
Okay, did we have a motion?
Yes.
And was there a
Yes.
second? I'm sorry.
Rob?
Yes,
Yes.
second.
Okay. Will you call the vote, please?
Louis Williams,
Yes.
Adam Webb,
Yes.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. Item carries. Item 5 is consider action, approval, or rejection of resolution number 8324, providing for the issuance of general obligation bonds of 2024 in the sum of $7,220,000 by the City of Moore, Oklahoma, authorized at an election duly called and held for such purposes on November 14th, 2023, prescribing from the bonds, providing for the registration thereof, providing levy of an annual tax for payment of principal and interest on same, and fixing other details of the issue.
Again, Mayor and council, this is the companion item to number 4. Recommend approval.
Make a motion to approve?
Second.
Had the motion and a second. You can call the vote.
Adam Webb,
Yes.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes, item carries. Item 6, consider adoption of resolution number 8824 of the City Council of the City of Moore, Oklahoma, approving the incurrence of indebtedness by the Moore Economic Development Authority in the aggregate principal amount not to exceed $5,090,000 in connection with the issuance of its sales tax revenue note, Series 2024 Municipal Capital Improvements Project, providing that the trust indenture of, as amended, creating the authority is subject to the provisions of the general indenture as supplemented and amended, authorizing the issuance of said note, waiving competitive bidding and approving the proceeds of the authority pertaining to the sale of said note, approving security agreement between the city and the authority pertaining to the deposit and transfer of sales tax revenue, ratifying and confirming an agreement of support between the Moore Public Works Authority and the authority whereby the Moore Public Works Authority agrees to transfer revenues to the authority and containing other provisions relating thereto. And I read something.
Mayor and council, items 6, 19, and 26 are companion items. This is the sales tax note regarding the items that were approved in the budget, purchase of land and adjacent to Cleveland Heights, an additional fire engine, additional land and storage for Fire Station Number 1, and some improvements to City Hall. Recommend approval.
Make a motion to approve?
Second.
We have had a motion and a second. Can you call the vote, please?
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes, item carries. Item 7 is consider resolution number 8024, adopting the 2024 annual action plan for the Community Development Block Grant Program and authorizing the mayor to submit the plan to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development.
Mayor and council, the city has been awarded $345,997 this year for its annual CDBG entitlement allocation. We also have an estimated amount of $15,000 from last year that will roll over to this year. and an estimated $62,000 of CDBG COVID funding that we still have available. For this year, administration is recommended to be funded at $69,199. Out of these funds, $35,000 will be budgeted for a fair housing services analysis that must be completed every 5 years. Public services is recommended to be funded at $51,899 with annual entitlement funding and $62,096 with CDBG COVID funding. The funding recommendations are as follows: $20,000 to aging services for Meals on Wheels, $12,490 to Bethesda for counseling for children, $10,000 to Abbott House Child Advocacy Center for forensic interviews for abused children, $5,000 to the First United Methodist Church for their food pantry, $16,000 to More Youth and Family for an early intervention program in the school system and a first-time offender program, $10,000 to St. Vincent de Paul for a utility and rental assistance program, $15,000 to Catholic Charities for rental deposits for homeless women, $5,000 to the Community Action Agency for utility assistance, $15,005 to the Virtue Center for substance abuse counseling, $5,500 to Metropolitan Fair Housing Council for fair housing services. That will serve 592 residents. We also are recommending an emergency repair program administered by Rose Rock Habitat for Humanity to be funded at $30,000, and that will assist 12 households. And the infrastructure project that is recommended to be funded at $224,899 is a sewer line rehabilitation project in the Regency Park neighborhood that will assist 44 households. That's it.
Okay.
Make a motion, we approve.
Second.
Had a motion and a second, and we thank you and the CDBG committee and that Louis and Melissa serve on for putting all this together. Would you call the vote, please?
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. Item passes. Item 8 is consider approval of a sign relocation and lease agreement with Lamar Advertising as a result of the removal of a Lamar sign previously located at the Moore Animal Shelter location.
Mayor and council recall that the property that we decided to build the animal shelter on had a perpetual easement that allowed a billboard to be placed there, that Lamar Advertising was utilizing the perpetual easement for that advertising. They did agree to go ahead and remove the billboard, and we went ahead and purchased the perpetual easement from the actual property owners that had the little space for the billboard. In exchange, the billboard company, Lamar, agreed to, as I said, to remove the billboard, and in exchange, we had to provide them a location to put another billboard. They had just started a 20-year agreement with the people who own the perpetual easement, and so they essentially would be losing out on 20 years worth of revenue from the advertising. It took us a while to be able to find a location, but the location that we finally found was on the south side of 19th Street and just west of the southbound ramp onto I-35. There's a little drainage channel that is just on the east side of Taco Casa, and it is just on the other side of the drainage channel where the Seasman is. This lease agreement is a 20-year agreement where they can use this, have this billboard at this location. Because they lost out on the revenue from the first location that they had at the animal shelter, we do not receive any revenue for the advertising that's on the sign. There is an option after the first 20 years that if both parties agreed, that we could go ahead and continue the agreement, with the exception that we would receive $5,000 a year for advertising at that point. But we needed to have this done in order to be able to construct the animal shelter, so would recommend approval.
After the 20 years, could we say we're done and we want?
Yes, we can.
What did we pay for this parcel?
Just the perpetual, we ended up paying $25,000 to a brother and sister for a total of $50,000 for the parcel.
Make a
Which
motion to
again
approve.
was over a 20-year period.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. We can call the vote, please.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Rob Clark.
Yes.
Kathy Griffin.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes, item carries. Item number 9 on the agenda is consider approval of amendment number 3 in the amount of $550,000 to the Southeast 4th Street BNSF Railroad Underpass Final Plan Agreement with Poe and Associates for all engineering and drafting services required to modify and complete detailed construction plans for reconstruction of the Southeast 4th Street Railroad Underpass.
Mayor and Council, this supplemental amendment is the result of multiple things that have occurred over the course of the project. We've had additional, the engineers had to spend additional meetings with our legal group in helping with right-of-way acquisition and providing sketches and documentations for that. Since we were we're so close to Broadway, we felt that let's upgrade the signal at the intersection of Broadway and 4th Street to meet our new Wavetronics radar systems. That was included. They had to do a hydraulic report to prove to the BNSF Railroad that the amount of water that we would be putting into their system was not an increase than what was there before. They did a 90% submittal before we stopped the procedures, and the project was put on hold for a couple of years, essentially from a design standpoint. And then when they came back we started it back up again. ODOT standards had changed. They had specifications and were all from 2009, and then we had now used 2019, so they had to redo a lot of that. Probably the biggest cost as it related to this was additional coordination with BNSF. It's been tough to deal with them and get them to comply and give approval of certain items. And a lot of reviews that they required and requested. One of the largest payment is that we had to redesign the shoe fly. Originally, it had been approved in 2016 or 17 for 55 miles an hour. And we had an approval, but in addition, new people came on board, and they decided that, no, we wanted it designed for 88 miles an hour, which meant a whole new design because it was a much longer at that point. And that itself was about, 20 to 22% of the whole increase in the rate. But there's just been a lot of changes as a result of moving this project forward, and we would recommend approval of the amendment.
Do you feel like this is a big step towards
In-
progress?
I feel that, yes, we're getting very close. They're still not past everything, but we're much closer, yeah.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Well, I know that this has been a long time coming, but I do believe we're getting really close to getting started. So I hate that it's taken this long, but the city has done everything that it can, and we've, again, have just been waiting for other entities to move forward.
Yeah.
We've had a motion and a second. Would you call the vote, please?
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Rob Clark.
Yes.
Kathy Griffith.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes, item carries. Item 10 is consider approval of amendment number 1 in the amount of $10,000 to Freeze and Nichols agreement for completion of the ODOT local government NEPA checklist and additional ODOT requirements for reconstruction of Telephone Road, Southwest 19th Street to Southwest 34th Street project.
Mayor and council recall when we started the design of this particular project, we were going to design it with 100% city funds. Fortunately, we received approximately $6.7 million from ACOG, which is federal funds, federal and state funding, and therefore the design requirements and the submittals to ODOT are significantly an increase in cost to be able to provide all of those things. The biggest thing is we now have to go through an environmental process, and there's a lot of information that has to be submitted as part of that environmental, and would recommend that approve the $10,000 in relationship to the 6.7 that we're getting for this.
Make a motion to approve?
Second.
Motion and a second. Would you call the vote?
Louis Williams?
Yes.
Adam Webb?
Yes.
Rob Clark?
Yes.
Kathy Griffith?
Yes.
Melissa Hunt?
Yes.
Mark Ham?
Yes. Item passes. Item 11 is consider approval of amendment number 1 in the amount of $8,200 to the TIM Design PLLC agreement for completion of the ODOT Local Government NEPA checklist and additional ODOT requirements for reconstruction of Northwest 27th Street and Shields Boulevard intersection project.
And this is the same issue. We received somewhere around approximately $3.5 million for ODOT for state and federal funding, and they have to go through the same exact thing. So would recommend approval.
Make a motion to approve?
Second.
And just real quick, you don't anticipate any additional or how much time doing the environmental studies? Will that push the project back, or can you do that while utility relocation, all that stuff?
While we are doing the utility relocations, the environmental will be going on. We don't anticipate that it would increase the project time in a more. They'll be going on simultaneously as the utility relocations, and therefore I don't think there'd be any additional time to the project.
All right. Thank you. We've had a motion and a second. You call the vote, please.
Adam Webb?
Yes.
Rob Clark?
Yes.
Kathy Griffith?
Yes.
Melissa Hunt?
Yes.
Louis Williams?
Yes.
Mark Ham?
Yes. Item passes. Item 12 is consider adopting resolution number 8124, authorizing the City of Moore to submit a grant application to the Oklahoma 911 Management Authority for GIS improvements needed to meet State of Oklahoma Next Generation 911 standards.
Mayor and Council, the state has established a new state law requiring all agencies to submit its GIS data to the state repository, and data must be NG 911 compliant. Previously, ACOG would submit the GIS data on behalf of the city. However, because of the new state data requirements, each agency is now responsible for their own submissions. The Oklahoma 911 Management Authority is accepting grant applications that will assist agencies who need to make improvements to their GIS maps to meet these standards. The application request is for $69,540, covering the cost of a consultant to update the city's current GIS maps to meet the new standards, and included in that price is submission of the data to the statewide database for 2 years.
Make a motion to approve?
Second.
Motion and a second. You can call the vote.
Adam Webb?
Yes.
Rob Clark?
Yes.
Kathy Griffith?
Yes.
Melissa Hunt?
Yes.
Louis Williams?
Yes.
Mark Ham?
Yes. Item passes. Item 13 is consider approval of a proposal from Signs Consulting in the amount of $99,650 for professional consulting services regarding a new computer-aided dispatch, CAD, and a public safety records management system, RMS, through the TIPS Purchasing Cooperative Contract number 230105.
Mayor and Council, this is a consulting firm which is a subject matter expert in identifying and picking computer-aided dispatch and records management systems for police, fire, and dispatch communities like ours. Hopefully, you remember some of the pitfalls we experienced with our current CAD RMS system, and we feel like by contracting with this group, we know their track record, we feel like we will avoid some of those potential downfalls and be able to pick a better system that will not only fit our needs today, but fit our needs long into the future as well. So we would recommend approval.
Make a motion to approve?
Second.
We've had the motion and a second. You can call the vote.
Rob Clark?
Yes.
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes, item passes. Item 14 is consider the appointment of David Jennings, Zane Whitechurch, and David Welchel to serve a 3-year term on the Planning Commission, Community Development.
Mayor and council, the city of Moore does have 3 vacancies on the planning commission currently. As per city code, we did post the vacancies for 45 days on the website at City Hall and also on the in the water bill. We did receive 10 applications. We selected 5 to interview, and of those 5, the 3 that you see here are the ones that scored the highest. And myself and Rob Clark and Louis Williams were on that, in those interviews. Recommend that you appoint the 3 to serve a 3-year term for the Planning Commission.
Thank you all for your search process.
Yep.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
We've had a motion and a second. You call the vote?
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb,
Yes.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes, item passes. Thanks, Elizabeth. Item 15 is consider approval of a new job description for Police Standards Administrator in the Police Department and assign it to pay grade 109 of the salary table approved by the City Council on June 20th, 2016, and in accordance with the budget approved by City Council for fiscal year 24-25.
Mayor and Council, the Police Department requests approval of the submitted draft of a new budgeted full-time job description for Police Standards Administrator. This position will be responsible for researching and drafting policies and procedures for the department, preparing and maintaining administrative guides, serving as the law enforcement accreditation manager, and performing required audits. Staff recommends approval. I'll be glad to answer any questions you may have.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
We've had a motion and a second. You can call the vote, please.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb,
Yes.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes, item carries. Moving to item 16 is consider approval of a new job description for Parks and Cemetery Horticulture Worker 2 in the Parks and Recreation Department and assign it to pay grade 109 of the salary table approved by City Council June 20th, 2016, and in accordance with the budget approved by City Council for fiscal year 24-25.
Mayor and Council, the Parks and Recreation Department requests approval of the submitted draft of a new budgeted full-time job description for Parks and Cemetery Horticulture Worker 2. This position will be responsible for a small crew of horticulture, turf, and facility maintenance workers engaged in beautifying city parks, cemetery grounds, and related facilities. Staff recommends approval.
Make a motion to approve?
Second.
And I believe this is a much-needed position and will help the city keep on top of all of the parks and all of the other things that we need to take care of. So, good. We've had a motion and a second. You can call the vote.
Louis Williams,
Yes.
Adam Webb,
Yes.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes, item carries. Item 17 is consider approval of the budgeted purchase of a John Deere 333P compact track loader with attachments from C.L. Boyd Company, Inc. in the amount of $124,400 using Sourcewell National Purchasing Contract ID number 011723-JDC.
Mayor and Council, good evening. Streets and Drainage and Public Works currently has only one tracked skid steer, which spends a lot of time in the garage. And as we speak, it's down, and we've been renting skid steer to enable us to complete our jobs. So this will replace that old skid steer that we have.
Okay.
Make a motion, we approve.
Second.
Okay, right. You can call the vote, please.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb,
Yes.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes, item carries. At this time, we're going to recess the City Council meeting and convene the Moore Public Works Authority meeting. 18 is the consent docket.
Make a motion to approve the consent docket. It's items A and B.
Second.
Would you call the vote?
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Rob Clark.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. Consent docket passes. Item 19 is consider adoption and resolution number 26924 of the trustees of the Moore Public Works Authority, the authority authorizing an agreement of support by and between the authority and the Moore Economic Development Authority pertaining to the Moore Economic Development Authority Sales Tax Revenue Note, Series 2024.
Mayor and council, this is a companion item to item 6 that was previously voted on. Recommend approval.
Make a motion to approve?
Second.
Will you call the vote, please?
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Rob Clark.
Yes.
Kathy Griffith.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes, item carries. Item 20 is consider approval of the budgeted purchase of 2 Battle LET-2 crane carrier cab and chassis with CNG fueled engines from Holt Truck Center in the amount of $429,826 using state contract number SW035T.
Mayor and council, items 20 and 21 are companion items, and this is to purchase 2 additional trash trucks. The 20 is to purchase the cab and chassis, and then 21 is going to be the body that goes on the cab and chassis.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
How long will it take to get them? If we order them the next couple of weeks?
12 to 18 months.
Oh. Okay. We've had a motion and a second. You call the vote?
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Rob Clark.
Yes.
Kathy Griffith.
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes, item carries. Item 21 is consider approval of the budgeted purchase of 2 Healy DPF Python 33-yard full eject style refuse compactor bodies from United Engines in the amount of $590,000 using state contract number SW197.
Mayor and council, this is the body, the higher body, the full eject system body that is going to go on the cab and chassis in number 20.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We've had a motion and a second. You can call the vote, please.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Rob Clark.
Yes.
Kathy Griffith.
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes.
$1 million for 2 trash.
Yeah,
Yeah.
item passes. I had an opportunity to go and ride with one of our drivers, I don't know, a month or so ago, and experience what it's like going on a route and all the hard work that they do, and I'm glad that we're able to provide them with a nice truck, because they're in it all day, and it's a lot of stop and go, and but they do a good job.
Thank you.
Item 22 is consider approval of a master software service agreement and a budgeted purchase of routing software for sanitation division from Rubicon Global LLC in the amount of $34,578 using Sourcewell contract number 020221-RUB.
Mayor and council, this is a routing software that is going to help us to be more efficient. Currently, everything we do is on paper. The maps are on paper. They draw on them. So this will digitize everything for us, and it will optimize the routes, and it will boost customer service. It's also going to have a telematics component where it will send messages to the mechanics if there is something going wrong with the trucks. So we're very excited about this. This is going to be a subscription package for a total of 5 years, but this is the first year.
So right now we do our routes on paper.
Yes.
Manually, yeah.
Wow.
So will this software communicate with the truck?
Yes, please. It will communicate with the trucks. It will show where the drivers have been.
Okay.
It will show which cans have been picked up or which ones have not been picked up. All the misses will show in red. And it will also take the ability to take pictures. So when we go through a street and the calls come in that they never picked my can, the camera is going to show that the can wasn't there to begin with. So
It sounds like a lot of promises from Rubicon Global. Do we have any neighbors that use this company?
yes, we did check. There are several companies. The Midwest City, I believe, is using that.
And they
and then
felt
Edmond.
it was a good experience?
Yes.
Yeah, they can
We looked
demo
at-
most of that stuff, so.
We looked at 3 different companies, Rubicon, Routeware, and then RouteSmart. And so far, Rubicon has what will work best for
Okay,
us.
good. So they have what's best. They weren't just the cheapest, but they were the most responsible vendor that offered what we need, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
I've had a motion and a second. You can call the vote.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb,
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. Item passes. We'll now recess the Moore Public Works Authority meeting and convene the Moore Risk Management meeting. Item 23 is consent docket.
Make a motion, we approve item 23, sub A and B.
Second.
Will you call the vote, please?
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb,
Yes.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. Item carries. We'll recess the Moore Risk Management meeting and convene the Moore Economic Development Authority meeting.
I don't know who that is.
I don't remember who it is.
It was me, but it's not anymore.
I think it's.
Oh, is it me?
I think it's
Okay.
you, Louis. Yep, I do.
Would you
Yes,
call
it
the roll,
is.
please? Sorry.
Jason Blair, Melissa Hunt,
Here.
Mark Ham,
Here?
Louis Williams,
Here.
Adam Webb,
Here.
Rob Clark,
Here.
Kathy Griffith.
Here.
Item 25 is the consent docket.
Make a motion to approve the consent docket, item A.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Would you call for the vote, please?
Jason Blair, sorry, Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Mark Ham,
Yes?
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb,
Yes.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Kathy Griffith.
Yes.
Item 26, consider adoption of resolution number 2824 of the trustees of the Moore Economic Development Authority, the authority, authorizing the issuance of its sales tax revenue note, Series 2024 Municipal Capital Improvement Project, the note, in the aggregate principal amount of not to exceed $5,090,000 for the purpose of financing various municipal capital improvements, including but not limited to purchasing land, remodel City Hall, expansion of Fire Station Number 1, the purchase of an additional fire engine, and the purchase of property in Cleveland Heights to serve residents of the city. And 2, paying certain costs of issuance in connection with the referenced financing, collectively the project, in the city of Moore, Oklahoma, waiving competitive bidding and authorizing the note to be sold on a negotiated basis, ratifying, approving, and authorizing the execution of other documents relating to the transaction, and authorizing employment of financial advisor and bond counsel pertaining to said financing and containing other provisions relating thereto. Wow.
This is the companion item to items 6 and 19 previously voted on. Recommend approval.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Would you call for the vote, please?
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Mark Ham,
Yes?
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb,
Yes.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Kathy Griffith.
Yes.
At this time, we'll recess the Moore Economic Development Authority meeting and reconvene the city council meeting.
Item 27 is new business. First on that is citizens forum. Items not on the agenda. We have Mr. Tommy Lawrence signed up. Would like to speak. So if you just come on up and your name and address, and you have 5 minutes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Tommy Lawrence. I live at 236 Northeast 3rd Street here in Moore. Basically, that's the intersection of 3rd and Turner, just north of Main Street off of Turner. It's in Ward 2. And I'm very pleased to see some of the progress we've made going forward in this meeting and other meetings where we've pushed the ball forward on things. We're having an issue in that little neighborhood, and that small little neighborhood is, and I would ask you as government leaders to go back to what we think about as our primary responsibility, and that's to serve the citizens that we represent. And we have very much so in the last couple of months noticed a very increased uptick in traffic that is coming off of Main Street that comes north up Turner in order to avoid the train. We're all well aware that we don't have any control over what BNSF does with the train tracks. If they want to block it, they block it. But what I would ask you to consider is we do have a option to do some signage on Main Street that would help people understand that there is no access to get out of that Main Street addition if you turn north up Turner. There's two things that are going to happen if you turn north up Turner. One is when you get to 3rd Street and you go east, it's a dead end. If you get to 3rd Street and you go west, it takes you over to Santa Fe Avenue and takes you right back to Main Street, and you're on the east side of the railroad tracks. And I think traffic has gotten to the point where I would ask you to look at and have your traffic people look at some signage at Main and Turner that would indicate to people you cannot go north here and avoid the train. You cannot. It is a dead end, but it's not a complete dead end. So
Not a through street or something like that.
it's just not a through street.
Right.
And we had one accident that was in front of my house, destroyed my mailbox because there was a traffic incident, and it was just because I think people did not understand that there's no way out. Langley Village is north of Main and Turner. There's a lot of older people that live in Langley Village. I own 2 sixplexes that I rent to senior adults at 236 Northeast 3rd and at 309 Northeast 3rd. All of that housing in that area is designed around senior living. That's a PUD agreement that was designed through community development. And so we have elderly people that live there that walk. I've been in touch with the street department. You have a new street supervisor, I believe, that the city has employed from Silver Star. Congratulations to you, Mr. Manager. That's a good pickup. And when I built my first sixplex there in 2008, I paid the city a $20,000 street impact fee. This administration was not in here at that time, so I want to make clear, Mr. Mitchell and his administration was not here at that time. There's never been anything done to 3rd Street as a result of those street impact fees. So the more traffic we get up there, the streets are not in good shape. It's just a hindrance to the people that live in that neighborhood. And so that's why I go back to what I said originally. I would ask you to remember that we all have a responsibility at level of government. We can approve contracts, we can spend money, and you guys have done a great job. I love to see the new trash trucks. I'm a retired firefighter. I love seeing the fire department get a new engine, and I love all of that, being able to spend that. But the bottom line is, at the end of the day, we serve people that live in this city. And there's people that live in that older neighborhood there that are being not displaced, but they're being inconvenienced because of a traffic situation that they have absolutely no control over. My fear is when you're able to start the project at 4th Street, it's only going to increase the traffic flow of people coming up Turner to Main Street and then looking for a way to get out of that area as quickly as they can. So I would ask you tonight to look at it, take a look at it, let your traffic people look at it, let Jerry and Deidre look at it, and figure out some way where we can put some signage on Main Street that says, listen, don't turn up Turner thinking you're going to get out, because you're not.
Mm-hmm.
So
I've witnessed this happen a few times, and I know people that have attempted it think and ask, why isn't Turner go all the way through to 12th? You know,
Right.
so
It-
I know that it's a common
It doesn't even go through to Messenger.
Right.
Now, at Santa Fe Avenue and Main Street, there is a sign, Councilman, that says there's no access to Messenger Lane. But there's there's nothing at Main and Turner
To say,
really,
"Go here."
and I will leave it to your traffic people to decide, but if it faces, the sign should really face to the east on Main Street. Because if that's where traffic comes from that's trying to get out,
Yeah,
okay? If they're coming from the west, they're good because the train's not on the tracks.
Right.
So they're clear, they can go. But if they're coming from the east or the south from 4th Street, they need to have some notification that there is no access to get out.
And you're right. When the underpass project starts, there's going to be all sorts of traffic, people trying to figure out how to get around, and so it's
Yes, Ms. Hunt. Yes, it will be. It will get expeditiously worse.
Yeah.
And so I would just ask you to take a look at it, have your traffic people look at it, see if there's something we can do as far as signage goes. I know there's absolutely nothing you can do as far as the train and how long it sits on the tracks. That's completely out of our control. So, yes.
In our conversation, when you called me about
Yes.
this issue, did you mention something about the sidewalks, their lack of sidewalks in that area?
Well, if you would indulge me just a few more minutes, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've been developing in that area since 2008, and I live there currently on some of my property, and that's how I take care of my sixplexes. I have 2 sixplexes that I rent to senior citizens, and it's probably valued at a little over $1 million worth of property I have there. When I built there originally in 2008, the city, again, I want to make it clear that Mr. Mitchell was not in his position then. He was not anywhere with the city then that I know of, but the city, in my agreement, the city said, we're going to have to charge you a $20,000 street impact fee. And I paid that. And the streets over there, I'm sure you drove through there because you told me you would. Mr. Mitchell's been over there. Those streets, there has not been, I can attest, there's not been anything done since 2008. I don't know where the $20,000 went, but it didn't go on the streets. And so we've been working with city officials in the street department, in the utility department. We've made some improvements, but the streets, they need to be looked at. And in part of that with the streets is I would like to see the city look at some sidewalks in that area because 90% primarily of the people that live there are 55, 60 and older. They walk their animals. Langley Village, all of you are familiar with Langley Village, and it's they keep that complex up very nice. It's a very nice facility. I live right across the street from it, and they do a great job keeping that facility up. But those people are out there all the time, and I would like to see us turn our attention to that neighborhood just a little bit where we could maybe take a look at that. It's not going to happen overnight. We realize that. But if we could turn our attention there just a little bit where we could say, yes, there's an area here where we can improve this. We have a lot more population there than we had 15, 20 years ago. And we owe, again, as I said, as elected officials, I would ask you to look at your primary responsibility is we owe it to the citizens that we serve to do the best we can in order to serve them in that area. And sidewalks, Councilman, sidewalks would be a huge addition.
And you expressed a concern that a lot of the residents there, mainly the elderly, that were having to walk in the streets.
Yes, and they do. Recently, a couple of months ago, we had a domestic situation where some people it was a domestic situation, and a lady crashed. A guy ran her off the road. They were running from each other. They crashed into my mailbox, destroyed my mailbox, hurt her. It was just a big deal. But the bottom line was, my cameras at my house caught it on video, and if you look at the video, what was the most disturbing, I think, for me, as a retired firefighter and a first responder, was there was 3 elderly ladies standing on the other side of the street. Yes, and if it would have went the other way, where the car went the other way, it would have been a fatality situation, a multiple fatality situation, where they would have killed somebody. So I think, I'm just asking you to take a look at the neighborhood. I know the mayor's been over there a couple of times. The manager has worked with me very cooperatively. We've got a water line replacement that's scheduled to go in this year, which is great, and I appreciate that. Everybody's been very, very cooperative, but I just think there's an opportunity for us to head off some problems with some signage, and like I said, that's something you can control. You do have control over the signages. You don't have any control over the railroad, but you got control over the signages. So I would ask you to take a look at that, and then I would also ask you to take a look going forward to the streets and the sidewalks in the area, because as we all know, the elderly population is a growing population. It's going to continue to grow. It's one of the largest populations we have. They're a huge voter bloc, and that neighborhood needs a little bit of attention. That's basically what I'm saying, is we just need, in Ward 2, we just need a little bit of attention over there in that neighborhood. So thank you very much. Appreciate it, Mayor.
And anytime we redo a street or look at streets, I mean, if there's not sidewalks, I mean, I think it's our position to just do it and get sidewalks in, so.
And a valid point, I think, when we're getting close to the underpass, and when 4th Street does close, it would be good that people, maybe we do some kind of push on alternative routes, and that city website and the newsletter, or the insert in the water bill and everything that we can. Still, some people won't read any of that, and we'll just figure it out on their own. But yeah, signage would be an easy
I've watched,
thing.
I chose to sit there and wait before, for whatever reason, but I've seen people pull in and then come right back out.
Yeah.
Know people that have made the mistake, so.
Okay, is there anybody here that would like to speak? Item B, items from city council trustees. I have just a couple of quick things. The July 4th events at Buck Thomas Park went off really well. Had a lot of wonderful fireworks and events throughout the evening. So thanks to Sue and to Deidre and to our police, fire chief, all their people coming out, and everybody else, all the other city staff that helped make it possible. And I know the Toby Keith's family were able to come out and watch the fireworks as they were in sync with some of Toby's songs, and they were very appreciative of your efforts, and that's something that you guys just took the initiative, and they responded and they appreciated it. And again, it's one of the better firework displays in the metro. So good job on that. We have Cops and Bobbers that's coming up on July 20th out at the Buck Thomas Park. That's from 8 in the morning till 10 in the morning. If you have fishing gear, bring it. If you don't have any, that's okay. It's for the kids, and will help teach them how to fish. So we'd love for you to be out there. Council, in September, might just look at your calendars, is the annual OML conference. It'll be in Tulsa this year. If you've never gone to that, maybe you can't go the whole, it's the 10th, 11th, and 12th. Maybe just pick one day. And if it's something you're interested in, just let Brooks know, and they can get your credentials and all that. It's a great opportunity to meet a lot of other city councilors and a lot of vendors, and it'd be, if you've never been, it'd be worth your time. And that's all that I have. Oh, Senator Langford came in today, and we had an opportunity to visit with him and his staff about things that are going on in our city, as well as things at the national level. And he's committed to helping out the city of Moore as much as he can. Do you have anything, Brooks?
Our big trash pickup, we're still a week out on scheduling, so I know there's a lot of demand this time of year, so I want to thank Tony and his staff for all their hard work.
Okay. I guess I should have read item C, items from the city trust manager. And move us to item 28, executive session. Section 307, Title 25, Oklahoma statutes permits the public body to meet in executive session for certain specified reasons under certain specified conditions. It's the opinion of the city attorney that the city council may consider and adopt a motion to meet in executive session to discuss the following items. A, discuss, consider, and if deemed appropriate, consider taking possible action regarding Marlene Recue versus the City of Moore, case number CJ 2017-1261, and authorization for legal counsel and staff to take action as necessary and appropriate in the interest of the City of Moore as authorized by 25 Oklahoma Statute 307B4. And item B is discuss, consider, and if deemed appropriate, take possible action regarding pending claim by Harry J. Corey IV on behalf of Deborah Wilson against the City of Moore, and authorize for legal counsel and staff to take action as necessary and appropriate in the interest of the City of Moore as authorized by 25 Oklahoma Statute 307B4.
Make a motion, we convene to executive session.
Second.
Would you call the vote?
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb,
Yes.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes, we'll be in executive session. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Okay, we have reconvened from executive session. Just let the record show that everybody that was present is still present. And that would lead us to item E for action.
For item A, action, I make a motion to proceed as directed.
Second.
We've had a motion and a second. Call the vote, please.
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes.
And item B, make a motion to proceed as directed.
Second.
Would you call the vote?
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Louis Williams,
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. Item 29 is adjournment.
So moved. Second.
Call the vote, please.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb,
Yes.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes, we're adjourned. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, have a nice evening.
So